Welcome, friends, to the Dam After Dark. It is the Beaver Dam like normal, except that it's 4 in the morning, and yeah, I don't know why I'm awake right now. But I do want to talk about this because, like, you've probably seen it already. You've probably seen the gameplay. You've probably seen, you know, what the Great Mothers are doing to the game. But this is a meta-defining marquee, and it is wild how much that it's actually doing in the game. Now, like, I want to put this into perspective. I want to take a step back, push backwards, kind of take a step back, take a step away from the Great Mothers. The overall idea of this video is, sorry, I'm gonna ramble a bit. It is really late, but the overall idea is: should you go for the Great Mothers and drop whatever farms you're currently doing? Now, let's kind of take a step back and go into some other things. Let's go into a wonderful trip down memory lane that is the Sith Empire faction. Now, the Sith Empire faction was starting to fall out of meta thanks to Piet and the Imperial Troopers, and so they added Malgus as a conquest lifter to this amazing faction. Still love this faction to this day, regardless of whether or not you have Malgus. We did a video just this last week about this. Sith Empire is great, don't sleep on it. But Malgus was dominating the meta. It was basically you either gassed it or you threw a GL at it. And once people figured out that Sith Assassin shuts down gas as the 5th member, then all of a sudden it was basically you used a GL or you got really, really lucky. And this was just an absolute menace when it came to GAC. And even now it's still a menace to some degree to the lower echelons of the game. But we had an introduction. After a long time of his reign of terror, we had an end to his reign of terror with the addition of Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. Now, this guy could take just random Jedi. You could throw Bastila lead with him, Mace Windu, just some random Jedi. Eth Koth, I don't know, pre-Kron. Obviously, he's broken with the Kron right now. But, like, you could throw anything you wanted with him, and you just basically take out Malgus, and it completely nullified Malgus on defense. Now, here's the thing. We still see Malgus on defense. I face him almost every single Grand Arena, because not everyone has JKCK. Because JKCK is a rough farm to go for. It's all Chirotech characters, and on top of that, all the characters don't really lead to anything. You get a little bit of a seer team, you get a lifter for the Night Sisters, then you get Saw, who's just Saw. Like, yes, he has a home now that Luthen's around, but even then Mon Mothma sounds like a better home for Luthen. You know, and you're looking at like Tarful. Tarful's not great. They still need a lifter for the Wookiees to really make that faction pop. And so this was a hard sell. It's becoming more mainstream. It's a PP for a lot of people. This is a big passion project. One of the most common passion projects I'm questioned about is, should I go for JKCK? And it hurts my soul how often I gotta tell people no, just because they don't have Jedi and, you know, things set up in their roster to really justify it. But, you know, it's becoming more and more common now to see him in people's accounts. Now, the difference between that, where we had several months of absolute domination with Malgus, followed by a legendary unit that's rough, right now we have the Gungans, who just got finished like 4 months ago. We just got Jar Jar Binks like 4 months ago, and all of a sudden we have the ultimate counter for it. And it's not even like JKCK level, because I still see JKCK struggle with Malgus. Like, they'll kill off Malgus and then they can't get through the Malak and the Darth Revan or something like that, where you end up having to two-shot. This looks completely 100% like you're going to be able to take this out with the Great Mothers every time, because you can disable protection. The moment you disable protection, these guys turn almost all of their health into protection, and then they get super beefy as long as they have protection. Everything turns off with the Great Mothers going up against this. And so it's taken a team that's like an Apex Predator team and then just completely took it out back and did an Old Yeller. And so I think this is going to be redefining the meta hard. Additionally, the fact that the Great Mothers can beat JMK, as several other Galactic Legends, but we're going to just focus down JMK. I have talked about how JMK is a oversold Galactic Legend. It's a Galactic Legend that I don't think everyone needs, especially because it requires a lifter, requires building his team. His requirements aren't the greatest. There's some relic 8s in there, and they don't really tie to anything except Lord Vader, and coming up with Ahsoka Tano. The bougie bunch is expensive to get into. That being said, if someone has a JMK with a cat, it is a menace for people who are going up to Erodium. Like, people were very, very happy with their Lightspeed bundles going in with this last season of Datacrons, because you had the Special Forces TIE Pilot Omicron, or Datacron, and it made it so that way we could actually beat JMK with SLKR with a good win rate. And so people were doing really good, but now people don't have that anymore, and they are scrambling because they pushed their way into Kyber, they pushed their way into Erodium, and they just don't have the counter for JMK. And so the fact that these marquee characters get JMK, take down JMK, immediately makes this like a yes, go for it. And so I've actually put them in my in need of erection tab. Like, this isn't just like something that I'm suggesting to other people, but yes, I think you should go for them. Now, do I think you should wail for them? No. I think that you can if you want to. If your wallet can handle it, go for it. I did a little bit of wailing for Great Mothers when I was watching the testing, because I was like, oh gosh, I might have to go for this. I kind of regret the wailing, I'm gonna be honest, because I've got way too many things going on anyways to really justify it, and I don't think these are people that we necessarily need to drop everything to farm. But I do think the moment they become single drop farmable, you should start farming them if you have the Night Sister Lightspeed bundle. Now, do I think you should have them if you don't have the Night Sister Lightspeed bundle? I'd consider factoring it into your farms over the next year. I'm not going to say stop your current farms, because if you're a new player, I'd rather see you get your first GL, your first GL ship, things like that. But I do think that having two marquee characters to be able to take down JMK, to being able to take down Gungans, this is something that's going to be so helpful. Gas is actually a fairly big problem in people that are like Erodium and below, and even now, like I can always use an extra gas counter. Like, yeah, I've got CLS and I've got all these gas counters, but a lot of times there's so many teams in Kyber that I'm like, you know, a lot of my gas counters go to other teams, and so, like, you know, not a bad thing even as a gas counter. Now, I don't think they have low gear viability, mostly because you need Morgan Elsbeth taunting. So considering Morgan Elsbeth coming first, you can get her up. Great Mothers, I do think you can do some solid work with them at low gear. I did go against one in Territory War, and honestly, it was a low gear Great Mother and then a full relic team, and I did break through it with a Phasma. It took a 2-shot, yes, but basically I brought in Phasma and I managed to kill Great Mothers off because they were at gear 11, 4-star, I think. And then after that, I just took it apart with another team because there's no longer any synergy. But on offense, I think with the Great Mothers at low gear and with a high gear Morgan Elsbeth, you can probably pull off some really good stuff and pull off a lot of the counters that you need to with this team. So overall, add it to your single drop farms. I think they're going to redefine the meta. Yes, it's painful. It really is. I don't like suggesting going for new things. CG is obviously pushing hard for it. We saw it with adding an assault battle for the Quancho and pay to win. You know, we've been seeing it with the raids. We've been seeing it with the double drops. They're very hard pushing, and they're like, hey, we're gonna give you additive drops for the Leia Rex like 4 times, to the point where I just started on Princess Nisa just a couple days ago to get her up to 7 stars. Sorry, it is 4 a.m. I just started with her, and you can see her right here. She's already at 33 of 100 because I already had her at, you know, 6 of 100 when I went to start working on her the other day. So, like, you know, they're pushing new characters hard, and I think these are 2 that just you can't sleep on. A couple of garbage Night Sisters with these 2 characters, and you instantly have a like top 10 team. You can't sleep on that. Like, the closest to budget counter that you can get to JMK is something like maybe Maul, and even that is you're looking at, you know, you're gonna have to get Maul out of Conquest and then level up Maul. And, like, you know, Bo-Katan, really expensive to get into. And so this is a very low barrier to entry JMK counter, low barrier to entry team that can get you a lot of work. So if you have the Night Sister Lightspeed bundle, add it to your list, slow farm them, get them up, use them. If you're looking at, you know, the whole idea of, you know, I don't have the Night Sisters at all, consider it. In the next year, I think it should be added to your list, because this is just way too good to pass up on. And on top of that, it gets you a lot of Night Sister stuff. You know, I'm kind of curious if they're going to be able to do the assault battle, honestly. I have a theory that they probably could, especially looking at the Secrets and Shadows stage 4, where it's like, oh no, I have to fight Sidious. He has like no health and a million protection. Disable the protection, pff, gone. So like I have a theory that this can very much beat the Secrets and Shadows at challenge tier 3, and so it's going to get you an assault battle as well. I think that there's all positives and no negatives to getting this team. 2 marquees and some crap characters. So good, such a good bang for buck. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on the Great Mothers. It's hard to look a gift horse in the mouth, and I am kind of side-eyeing that gift horse and trying not to look it in the mouth, because I just such good values for so many players, such a good thing for so many people, but I do feel like it's going to affect the meta. We'll see how much it does, though. I'm excited to see where it goes in the future. I'm terrified of the Great Mother Datacron, and I'm excited for it to go away in 4 months, and I'm counting down every single day. But until then, please let me know what you think in the comment section. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, you know, all those fun catchphrase things that streamers and YouTubers say. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys hopefully not in the next Damn After Dark, because bro, it is late and I am tired. But thank you for being here.